Beautiful Monday morning to you. Welcome to Headlines Nigeria on ITI. From our Abuja studios in Nigeria, I am Grace Ukot with a summary of what's making the news on our national dailies. Let's have a quick rundown. Punch newspaper says kidnappers seize 3 million naira from us, freed journalists. The Lagos chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Wahab Oba, has said that 3 million naira was seized from them by the gunmen who kidnapped him and 3 other journalists in Abia State on July 11. Narrating their ordeal in the hands of their captors at the Abia State Police Headquarters, Umuahia, Oba said they were dropped off by the gunmen at a bush path in Upakiri Obingo local government area at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday. Hope dims for 11 suspended reps is also seen on the front page of Punch newspaper. The 11 members of the House of Representatives who were suspended on June 22 following a fracas in plenary have no hope of returning soon. A move to suspend the 11 lawmakers, all members of a group, the progressive-minded legislators, on June 23 degenerated into a free-for-all on the floor of the House, leaving at least 4 legislators injured. This day newspaper, Monarch sacked as journalists are freed. Following the ongoing crackdown on those behind kidnappings in Abia, particularly the recent kidnap of 4 journalists in the area, the state government has come down hard on traditional rulers alleged to be involved in abductions and other criminal activities. Yesterday, the government arrested and dethroned the traditional ruler of Amaube in Main Oboro Autonomous Community in Ikwana local government area of the state, Eze Vincent Okezie Uche, who is said to have already been charged to court for sponsoring kidnapping and armed robbery. NLC gives federal government 2 months to approve new pay. The Nigerian Labour Congress has given the federal government 2 months to resolve all issues that are related to the commencement of a new minimum wage package for Nigerian workers. The Guardian newspaper says Plateau boils again, 8 killed in fresh attacks. 8 residents of the Maza village in Jos North Local Government Council of Plateau State were brutally killed in a fresh attack in the state by unknown assailants. The attack on the village, according to residents, was carried out around 1:30 a.m. on Saturday, July 17, when the residents were fast asleep and the entire rural area enveloped in dark and silent night. Marketers kick over fuel import contracts. Major and independent petroleum marketers have petitioned the presidency demanding a review of the third quarter allocation of fuel import contracts, which was allegedly carried out secretly. The alleged lack of transparency in the manner the Petroleum Products Pricing and Regulatory Agency handled the second and third quarter allocations. And now moving over to politics, this day newspaper, Southeast Governors, leaders meet Jonathan today. The Southeast Governors Forum, comprised of Abia, Anambra, Imo, Enugu and Ebonyi states, is set to lead some of the leaders from the geopolitical zone to meet with the President, Goodluck Jonathan, to discuss issues affecting the zone. IBB, no going back on decision to run. Former military President General Ibrahim Babangida has said there is no going back on his decision to contest the 2011 presidential poll. He said he remains irrevocably committed to the 2011 race and that he never at any time contemplated withdrawing from the race or changing his party, the People's Democratic Party. And Punch newspaper, 2011 elections, AC rejects January date. The Action Congress on Sunday faulted the January 2011 date for next year's elections, saying the Independent National Electoral Commission could not organize a credible poll without a fresh voter register. In Leadership newspaper, we see release Al-Mustafa IBB. Former military President General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida has appealed to the authorities in Nigeria to release the incarcerated former Chief Security Officer to late General Sani Abacha, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, on humanitarian ground. And Daily Independent, we see 2011, Northern politicians set to dump PDP. Some northern politicians are jumping off the People's Democratic Party in anger over the scheming to discard its zoning formula to enable Goodluck Jonathan run for president in his own right next year. And Vanguard newspaper, PDP's zoning debate distraction, Utomi. The director of Lagos Business School and former presidential candidate, Professor Pat Utomi, over the weekend described the raging zoning issue of the People's Democratic Party as a distraction. He urged political leaders to focus on issues that would better the lives of Nigerians, adding that the persistent debate about the politics of the PDP would be dignifying the party, which according to him had failed the people of the nation. And business news, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria earns 33 trillion naira from oil, gas in 6 years. Production activities from the nation's oil and gas sector raked in about $220 billion, that's about 33 trillion naira, into the federal government's coffers between 2003 and 2009. Punch newspaper, Nigerian banks are safe, Aganga. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Olusegun Aganga, has said that Nigerian banks are now following the sanitization exercise carried out by the Central Bank of Nigeria on some of the banks that were recently considered weak. He said the banking sector was the only sector that had witnessed major overhauling recently, adding that government was currently enforcing rules that would engender transparency in the banking industry. This day newspaper reports recapitalization. NDIC tackles Savannah Bank. The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation has summoned the interim board and management of Savannah Bank of Nigeria PLC to explain why it has failed to recapitalize and commence operation. This follows the expiration of the deadline given to it by the Central Bank of Nigeria after a court of appeal restored the bank's operating license. And now we'll move over to sports news. Leadership newspaper says Falconets dedicate Japan victory to First Lady. National Under-20 women's team, Falconets, have dedicated their slim victory over hard-fighting Japanese side to the words of encouragement they received from the First Lady, Her Excellency Mrs. Patience Goodluck Jonathan. This day newspaper, technical official joins Falconets. The Nigeria Football Federation has dispatched its Deputy General Secretary, Technical, Dr. Emmanuel Ikpeme, to Germany to strengthen technical and administrative support for Nigeria's women under-20 football team, the Falconets. The team drew 1-1 with England in their first Group C match on Wednesday in Augsburg and remained in the town to beat Japan 2-1 in their second match on Saturday to make their prospect of reaching the quarterfinal better. And with all these stories, we've come to the end of this edition of the program. I am Grace Ukot. Thanks for logging on.